I tried to show you one or two things in the class a couple of weeks ago, and I had some problems. So, well, the problem was with making it record so that you could see it again, watch it again. So I'm trying again now. I hope that I can very quickly just put this together and show you one or two basic things about how to use word processing and perhaps some ideas about Evernote. So let's just go to full screen here. And first thing is this kind of correction. Some students didn't really seem to be quite sure what they're supposed to be doing. So you'll notice that if I go up onto this review tab here, can you see it? This review tab at the top of the page here, then it gives me the choice of accepting or rejecting or moving on to the next change or going back to the previous one. So if I click on next, it's going to say, well, the first thing that I've changed in this student's paper was I took out I put in the word the appearance of the new woman. So the student can say, oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean. I'll put in the and accept that change. The next thing I did was I took out a W and put in a small w and put in a big one, because if you're having a big A and a big N, I mean, you can do them all in small letters, in which case it would be small a for appearance, small n for new, and small w for woman. But if you're going to be using capitals, then be consistent, okay? And all the important words, all the lexical words would get a capital. So it'd be, okay, I see the point, so I'll put in a capital W. And so we carry on. Yes, I see that the small w was taken out, so I also have to accept that. And carrying on like that. Now it did say in the 19th century, okay, so it's now in 19th century, but it was in the 19th century of Britain. You can see here the 19th century of Britain, okay, so that's been changed, and again, you can say, oh, okay, I accept it, all right. I mean, to be honest, you could just go boom, 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 boom. Yes, I accept it. Yes, I accept it. I accept everything. Ba 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 ba. But the thing about that is, all right, you can do that, but you're not really going to learn anything from it. Okay. Also, sometimes, I do put in comments that can't just be accepted. That you have to, you have to do something about the comment. Like this one, I think the way to think about it is the expression in Coventry Patmore's poem describes an already existent female type. He didn't suddenly invent that type of woman when he's talking about the angel in the house. So that's my comment there. You can't just say, well, I accept your comment. You have to do something about that comment, think about it, change what you've written perhaps in the light of the comment, that sort of thing. Okay, because the student says the concept of the angel in the house emerged in 1854. What I'm saying is that, well, actually, probably, obviously, that concept didn't just come about because he used the expression angel in the house. He put it in his poem, but then he was talking about something that was there in his society that was already there. So basically, that's it, really. That's all I really want to show you. That you accept, or you might say, no, I don't want to do what he says. I don't want to accept his change. Okay, so you can reject a change. You can move backwards. You can go to the previous change. So that's already okay. Searching for that. Okay, starting at the end of the document. Now you can go forwards and backwards. All right, to the beginning or the end of the document, or to different parts of the document. If I start here, all right, I can go on to the next one. I can go back to the previous one. And I can decide, what do I want to change that by using the accept or reject buttons. Different versions of Google will have different, Microsoft Word will have different menus at the top there. So, one thing you can do is you can just go to, Google, something like review pane in Microsoft Word, and then just put in the version that you've got. If you've got 2010, all right, and it's a Mac, put it in, all right? And it'll show you how to review, accept, reject, and hide track changes. There are lots of pages that'll show you how to do that. You can go to images and it'll show you little pictures of what the screen's supposed to look like, that sort of thing, okay? So use Google to help you with that kind of thing. Using Google is something that I would also recommend you to do in cases like, how to do the layout of a paper so that, you using the ruler, for example, if you don't know how to use the ruler to control your paragraphs, what's the way of making the ruler work? If you don't know, how to get the layout, for example, that this is a quotation, okay? How are you going to set out the quotation? You do actually have, quotes. Yeah, quote, for example. Okay, right, but that's not the format that you're supposed to do it in. You're supposed to be doing it in a different format. So what do? You go to your menu here and you change the layout so that you say, for example, okay, it should be inset like that. It shouldn't be italics. The line spacing should be a bit closer together. I'll make it, yeah, okay, maybe that's going to be all right. Okay, this sort of thing, okay? And then you see you can go up to the quote menu, and if I right-click it, all right, okay, I can update the quote. So the next time I click on quote, it will give it that format that I've just given it now. All right. I might also actually want to make a smaller font or something like. Oops, that doesn't seem to be quite right. Sorry. Might want to give it a smaller font. All right. It's typical to have a smaller font than the main thing. And again, I'll update the format of the quote style up here. You can add styles. There's a style box here. You can add new styles. You can apply different styles. Again, if you're not sure how to do any of that, just go on to the Google search, and you'll find that there are plenty of people who are happy to explain it to you. Works cited. The layout here isn't really the way it should be. What you're really supposed to do here is you look at what I'm doing with the ruler here. You're supposed to inset, all right, like that. You don't need this. All right, so it would just be something like that. And then you see, if you've got it on there, if you just click enter, it'll come out with the same format. So you don't need to do each one separately or anything like that. Just once you've got one, they'll work like that. Okay, so that's a bit of hints about how to work with Microsoft Word. And moving on to Evernote. Yeah, I thought you might like this. I thought that this might be fun for people to do something like this. And I've got the presentation version. And one or two people actually did say in the blog that, yeah, we could do a presentation. That might be worthwhile. It might help us to put our thoughts in order. So I would suggest that this might be a possible way to go for some students. We can do this. I can set some side apart in class for you to do this. And I've got, for example, here the true story of the Lowood Institution article, biography on the Bronte sisters. So I can make a little presentation together like this. I could talk you through it, okay? The original title was Jane Eyre, but it was a fictionalized autobiography. It's got echoes from Charlotte's life. So I can kind of talk you the way through. I can show you little bits of video, okay, from the Jane Eyre of 1944. It's not always the perfect layout, especially with this screen that I'm operating on here, but a wonderful version of the movie that gives you an extraordinary sense of what Lowood School might have been like, or what a place like that might have been like. Excellent, very dramatic, very well acted 1944 version of the story. So yes, I've just put together here some information. I put it on the website where you can see it easily. So yeah, I don't need to go through it in a lot of detail here, but I can just sort of use something like this to show how the Bronte sisters themselves, how they were treated, They were called charity children. They were fed burnt porridge. They had to wash in freezing water. All sorts of things that actually happen in Lowood happened to the Bronte children when they were sent to a charity school themselves by their father. And he was doing his best. I mean, he wasn't trying to be nasty or anything to his children. He wanted to give them a good education. So anyway, I thought that Evernote, did offer some sort of possibilities. I could have put some more things in there. There's interesting examples of things like their homework and things like that, and what grades they got and comments they got from their teachers, and so you could build up a kind of little presentation on the background to the story, or you could do a presentation on your paper. All right, what you're actually planning to write about. All right, so you wouldn't necessarily have to use Evernote for that. You could use PowerPoint, or you could use something, just something else altogether. I mean, I'm quite keen on PowerPoint, and I've got I'm always working on things like this, so that yes, come on. Yeah, okay. And this is pre-recorded, okay, so... Yes, women and society in 18th century England. We're going to be looking at
okay, so that's
pre-recorded by me. The screen looks very fuzzy. Oh, me commenting on what's going on. So, yeah. I want to start by, again, sort of a little bit of background here, because we talked about the political and social background, but philosophically and culturally, the society... Okay, I won't carry on with that, but you can see that there are lots of possibilities for what you can do in terms of presentation with Evernote or with PowerPoint, and I'm quite happy to help anybody who wants to make their own little presentation of any kind or anything like that. So those are the things that I was basically trying to get across in class the other day. So I think I'll call a halt now and see if I can upload that.